To think that in less than 2 hours' time, one of these drivers could well become the IWF winner 2022 at the epicenter of world motorsport, Le Mans. It doesn't get more special than this. Stilp and Bishop, Garcia and Weisenberger, Nettleship, Van Bosch, Burgoyne, Moore, Buckley, Chirelli. Let's see who gets the job as we go down to the first corner. Let's race at Le Mans for the last time before the final. Stilp and Garcia through to the first corner. No problems at all. Bishop holding it on and there's problems. That's Green getting involved. So too is Bataro. And I think we also saw Jack Buckley getting involved in that one. So several karts in the middle of the gaggle getting spat out there through turn 2. There's more problems as dropping it off. That is Riccardo Chirelli. He runs wide through 4. So several drivers in the mix, and there's Stilp. He hasn't meant the perfect start he wanted. He is down in P5. So Stilp is going to have to work for this one. That is Garcia up in front. Second for Bishop. Here comes Bacon Weisenberger. Third position, makes his bid on Nettleship. And now Burgoyne is side by side with Stilp. Stilp cuts back in to take the line again. 7th place for Van Bosch. It is really battle lines drawn here in X30 Junior. And of course, don't forget, only the top 18 will progress through to the final. It's now or never as Bishop drifts a tiny bit wide. And that's problems for Nettleship. Stilp and Burgoyne both managed to get through. So Stilp up to 4th, Burgoyne up to 5th. Game on.
Great racing all the way through the field now as we go down the home straight. An action-packed first lap. That's trying to squeeze through there in the background. That's Burgoyne trying to make his way through. And we can see in the mid-pack, that's Van Bosch trying to make a move there on Nettleship. Nettleship dropping back a couple now, as that looks like that was Morgan Moore actually able to get through on both of them. So gets himself up at a 6th position right now. Just in front of this, we can see our leading drivers. That's Bishop, who's managed to get himself into lead over Garcia, who's now in 2nd. From Weisenberger in 3rd, and up at a 4th there goes Gabriel Stilp. Harry Burgoyne Jr. just tucked in behind him as they go down through the carousel onto the back straight. Are Burgoyne and Stilp going to work together to try and catch on to the top 3?
They're certainly looking like they are joining forces for the moment. But that top 3 might be easy to catch because they look like they're going to duel away with each other. A bit of a run wide from Garcia. Bishop almost had the moment. Spain, Britain and France in the top 3. Garcia, Bishop and Weisenberger. And here's Mr. Bish Bash Bosh himself going to get his move on the inside line. Macaulay Bishop, why do you call him Bish Bash Bosh? Well, it's a phrase we have in the UK to get in there, get the job done and go home. But Macaulay Bishop doing a fantastic job already. Trying to get his move through on Garcia. Trying to work his way through. This could be a very interesting situation for Macaulay Bishop. And it looks like he is going to get things nice and tidy through to the chicane. Garcia still holds the lead on the Birolart. Then it is the Lando Norris chassis of the Dan Holland racing driver, Macaulay Bishop. Back in Weisenberger on the red speed for Victory Lane. Co-run by the FIA Formula 3 champion, Victor Martin, who is here just a couple of weeks after he won the title of Monza. So they work their way through. And is there going to be a charge through from Bishop? Well, not there on the inside of the chicane. There is. It's only lap 3. You've still got 9 laps to go after this one. It's not going to be easy to determine who's going to come through in fine style. They will charge their way through. Bishop's not going to wait around. And Mr. Bish Bash Bosh gets through on the inside line. Macaulay Bishop not going to wait around. I'll take the lead, thanks. Job done. I'm into the first position. See you later, alligators. Excellent run from Bishop. And that is a perfect overtake. So now Weisenberger is going to try and make his move to come through as Gabriel Stilp says the fastest lap of the race, trying to catch them.
Doesn't like to sit around for long. In 2nd position does Bishop as he now promotes himself into lead of the race. Garcia, though, he's still all over the back of the British driver right now as they go down through the carousel onto the back straight once again. Let's get a replay of what happened here. Just tucked in on the slipstream. Garcia changing something on his engine, and Bishop realizes that Garcia is distracted, not paying attention to where the drivers are around him, and that's his opportunity to sneak up the inside and get himself into the lead of the race round to the final corner. Is Garcia going to repay the favor here? Freddie Lloyd picking up a warning flag as we go down the straight. Into the first corner, Garcia looked to the inside. Bishop tins a little bit earlier than usual to cover it off, and he manages to do so successfully. Weisenberger just sitting behind in 3rd position, waiting for everything to unfold in front of him, waiting for the drama to happen. But if he's not careful, then Stilp and Burgoyne are going to arrive onto the back of him.
Smart move, good focus, great attitude from the top 3, giving each other plenty of room, still coming hard at each other's. So this is where Garcia is going to try and make his bid on Macaulay Bishop. No, he's not. He's going to try and work away from Weisenberger. So Bishop, Garcia, Weisenberger, Stilp and Burgoyne. Then Morgan Moore is still doing a fair job in P6. Very impressed with the young Irishman this year. IWF was going to be the toughest mission of his young career so far. he took to qualifying like a duck to water, and even though he's been nudged around quite a bit through these qualifying heats, do you know what? He's held his own, he's stood his ground, and here he is in the top 6 of a pre-final. Fair play to Moore. Here comes Garcia trying to get the run on Bishop. Bishop resists, but it's never going to back down. Garcia manages to get the run there on Bishop and pulls across just in time before Weisenberger gets through as well. But that has backed them into the path of Gabriel Still. Here comes karting's Gilles Villeneuve. Weisenberger dives in on Bishop. That holds them up. Burgoyne's going to get through on Stilp instead. Great reactions from Harry Burgoyne. That was a lovely move from the Scot, and he charges his way through. He wants to put the Saltire on the podium here at Le Mans, and he's done a great job.
Great move there from Bishop. Sorry, not from Bishop, there from Burgoyne. As Weisenberger gets through, Still wasn't ready for it and slipping through on the inside.
Burgoyne
like
again!
A snake. Burgoyne manages to make his way through on Bishop and gets himself into 3rd position now. Bishop from the lead all the way down into 4th now, but he's not going to sit around and take it sitting down. So into and straight back past goes Macaulay Bishop. He'll go back into 3rd position. Following through will be Gabriel Stilp to get himself into 4th. So Stilp in behind Bishop, and in behind him is Burgoyne. They've got a little bit of a gap now to catch onto the back of Weisenberger and Garcia in the leaders, and if they're not careful, Moore, Jocelyn, Meerschout and Jeff Hall are going to catch onto the back of this group.
3rd, 4th and 5th, the 3 Brits. Here comes Stilp on the inside of Bishop. But boys, look, it's time to settle your differences. The top 2 up in front are going to get away. So now that Stilp has got to 3rd position, he's got a gesture to the boys to work with him. But Bishop wants to get him back again. He thinks better of it. So they're going to have to try and work together to close up on Garcia and Weisenberger. Stilp has already dropped Bishop a little bit there. But here comes Morgan Moore and Henry Jocelyn. Those two have been working together with Mattis Michaud in the background. Garcia's having to defend a little to cover back on Weisenberger, who's in 18th. Well, there's a genuine chance that Annabelle Bryan could make her way through into the 18th. That's where she is at the moment, just in behind Sasha Van Bos and Clovis Nougerade. So Annabelle Bryan could work her way through into the finals here. This is going to be an interesting chance as they continue to make solid progress. So this is going to be a really interesting competition as the drivers continue their way forward onto the inside line. Comes back on Weisenberger. Weisenberger will go through. That's going to be a really exciting run as Weisenberger now steps up to the lead of the race. The Frenchman hits the front. Garcia in 2nd place. Then Stilp, Bishop, Burgoyne, Jocelyn, Moore and Michaud. The top 8 are all mixing it for the X30 Junior Pre-Final. But there is a lot of work still to do. They come off the final turn. Ethan Jeff Hall is about a 2.5 seconds back from this. But now Weisenberger is the one who's defending. Watch for Gabriel Stilp. If anyone's going to try and take this win from the leading duo, it's going to be Stilp in 3rd position. Got a great chance. Watch out for Bishop and Burgoyne though. Those two are not done yet by any means. Here comes the move from Jocelyn. He gets past his teammate. Morgan Moore slides in on Burgoyne as well. And Mattis Michaud waiting for his own shot to get through, but he has to back down. So that's Jocelyn to 5th, Moore to 6th, Burgoyne down to 7th, and here comes the battle between Weisenberger, Garcia and Stilp.
Some great racing out on the track right now. Switching positions left, right and centre are the remainder of the drivers. Looks behind him, does Weisenberger, but he needs to look to his left. Goes down the inside, doesn't just go Garcia, but Stilp as well. So Stilp into 2nd position now as he follows through with Garcia on Weisenberger. Bishop not able to capitalise on it just yet, but he will down the home straight. He goes to the inside now. Just 3 laps remaining now. There's no time for waiting around. You can see Jocelyn now tucking in behind Bishop as well. He wants to try and get involved in this battle for Mick Barrett Racing. Down the inside, a dive there from Bishop, but he's going to get a terrible run out of 4, and down the inside slips Henry Jocelyn as he now gets himself into what is 5th position. So Morgan Moore now the one applying pressure to the back of Macaulay Bishop. From what was the lead earlier on in this race, it's all fallen apart there for the DHR driver. He's now having a good defensive as they go up through the carousel, as he's trying to fend off Morgan Moore, but losing time to the drivers in front. We look back to the front end right now. Gabriel Stilp has managed to get himself into the lead of the race as Garcia is down into 2nd now. And that's an issue there for Mins.
Yeah, that is a big problem for Sebastian Mins. What a shame. The British driver is not going to go any further in this week by the look of it. He is down at the back, and I'm afraid poor Sebastian Mins, who's worked hard all week, is going to have to come back next time in IWF 23. So Stilp, Garcia, Weisenberger, Jocelyn, Bishop and Moore. That's your top 6 with Michaud and Burgoyne still in the mix there as well. Less than a second covering the top 6. Here comes Jocelyn, makes his bid on Weisenberger, and Jocelyn gets in a third. Great run from Henry Jocelyn. There's yellow flags at the first hairpin as Hayden Eldridge has been spat out of the queue. So Hayden Eldridge has recovered, but that's cost him big time. As Moore now gets up level with Bishop, has to cut back across before Michaud can get through. A very tricky race continuing on here in the pre-final. You'd have thought this was the final, wouldn't you? Up to the inside, Weisenberger now defending from Bishop. Bishop trying to move back to cover, but Stilp is still there in the mix. Stilp having a good run in front of Garcia and Jocelyn, and they pulled away from the rest of the drivers. Whoa! Almost into the barriers, Weisenberger and Burgoyne. Weisenberger and Bishop in 7th and 8th, and they almost dropped right out of the circuit there. Bishop is tumbling down the order, desperately trying to stay in it. Stilp has got pressure now. Here comes Jocelyn, cutting back across. Here's Garcia to shut down the attack from Jocelyn. But Moore is now 4th from Michaud. Burgoyne, Weisenberger, Constant, Jeffel, Nettleship, and Macaulay Bishop in 11th. It's all fallen apart for the DHR driver on the final lap. Stilp is there with Garcia and Jocelyn. And Gabriel Stilp is getting ready to put himself into the best possible position to win 2 in a row. Can he hold on to this? He's coming down to the final couple of corners. Garcia wants pole position for the final just as much as Stilp does though. And Jocelyn has fought himself back into a great position. Stilp holds up Garcia. Watch for Jocelyn at the line. It's gonna be a victory for Stilp. Look at that, less than a 1/10 of a second between them at the line. And by just 6 seconds, that pre-final was faster than pre-final B.